I'm Glenn Darcy, Vice President of Product Management for Arturia. Today I'm going to give you a quick tour of our new Synclavier V software. Alright, so this is going to be a fast tour of the new Synclavier V software, just to kind of get you through some of the navigation and the main concepts. There's going to be a video that goes more in depth in everything and it'll actually take you through building your first sound. So look for that video online as well if you're looking for a little bit deeper look at this. Okay, to begin with, this is the Synclavier V. The first thing in understanding the Synclavier is to understand some of its nomenclature. In most of our synths, we have what we call a preset, and that's the complete sound. In Synclavier V, or in the original Synclavier, they called it a timbre. All right, so a timbre is the same as a preset. It's the complete composite sound. It's layers of a whole bunch of little pieces that make up one big sound. Now, the first screen you get right here is the timbre page. And this page gives you kind of the big global aspects of any sound. So we'll play a sound that we all know and love. It's one from the original Synclavier library. It's a sound that you really can't beat. So I'll show you now how to use some of these timbre settings to quickly modify and transform this sound. So in the timbre page, you have your timbre settings, and this is your master volume, your panning, your transpose tuning. You have what they call voice chorus, and voice chorus on the Synclavier basically doubled up a voice. So it's kind of that chorusing effect that you get. What it'll do is it'll double voices and detune a second. You have the FM modulation and your bit depth. We'll get into those more in a minute. Over here you have amplitude envelope offsets and harmonic envelope offsets. And these are key to quickly editing a sound. You also have a arpeggio and repeat with different patterns for your arpeggiations. Over here you've got a polyphonic mode, so you can choose different poly or different mono modes. And over here you have portamento. So very quickly, let's take this classic sound. Right now it's got a very harsh, fast attack. Let's slow down the attack and let's make it a little bit more bowed. And it's got a very long release, so let's shorten up the release a little bit. So with any sound that you get, any of the factory sounds, if you decide, yeah, I like that, but I wish that the attack was faster, you just turn this to faster or to slower. To reset it to the factory, just double click it. And we're back where we were. The harmonic envelope changes the character of the FM. So on a sound that's additive, it really won't do anything. On a sound that's FM based, though, it will. So this sound is very FM based. So there's two things we can do. Let's first look at the FM amount over here, the FM modulation. I can use this kind of as a global tone control in FM based sounds. So you can see you quickly change the whole character of the sound. Let's make it darker and let's kind of bow it out a little bit. So very different sound than what it was. Okay, so you've kind of dealt with the timbre. Now let's dig into the partials. And to get into the partials, you just click on this arrow button right there, and up comes the synth, and it just got a whole lot bigger. So now each of the partials has all these different controls right here. Now a partial is one part of the sound. On the original, there were 4 partials. We've taken it up to 12, so there's a whole lot more layering capabilities. Within each partial, you have your amplitude envelope, you have the harmonic envelope, you've got more in-depth partial settings than you have in your timbre settings, and you have a vibrato LFO as well as a stereo pan LFO. Now quickly, just to kind of go over, get you the idea of what a partial is, let's return back to our original, and let's solo out a partial. So you can hear what partial 1 does. Let's listen to partial 2. Partial 2 is just the short attack. Partial 3 kind of a lower section of the sound, and partial 4 seems to be kind of duplicating what partial 3 does, probably detuned and panned a little differently. So you can see that's how the partials work. I can quickly load up something here that uses a whole lot of partials. Give you a couple different examples. Okay, this is one sound, one key being pressed. There's another example called soft chord. Kind of a couple of nice examples there. From the partials, if this was all the editing, then all you would have is your stuff for your FM based on the harmonic envelope in the FM. We also have a screen page, which mimics the old screen. Actually, it does a much better job than the original screen did. But it gives you more depth and it allows you to see all of your partials together. So on this sound, you can hear that each of those notes kind of comes in at a different time. And we can actually see it on the envelope right there. I can zoom into the envelope by clicking and dragging up here. And you can see the different partials. And I can click on them. And it will take you to each one. So this is your main envelope editing. You can basically click on it and drag it out. I can select multiple partials by shift clicking and edit them all out. And then you have all the exact values down here. You've got the same for the harmonic envelope. Next page is a key dynamic page. You can actually set splits and crossfades between partials. So I can have a couple partials doing something down low and a couple more partials doing something up high. You just simply click and drag up on top to fade it out. You click and drag in the bottom section to move the split point. And then you can fade on either side. I can grab it and fade it up from the bottom. I can move different points wherever I want. The time slices page, this is more of the real heart of the synthesis in here. This is where you can set up what your carrier waves are. This is where you do all your additive. You can set up your modulating waves as well. You have the powerful time slices tool, and we'll get into this in the sound design video. And down here you have all of your slice settings. You've got some drawing tools and then harmonic selections. Down in the bottom you can see the waveform as you're drawing it. And just below here you actually have phase control over each and every harmonic. Moving on to the mixer page. The mixer page gives you a lot of the same controls that you're going to find in here. But instead of seeing it one partial at a time, you can now see it 12 partials at a time. So I can see my volume, pan, tuning, transpose, FM amount ratios for all of my partials. And it makes it really easy for editing multiple ones and seeing them all being edited together. Yeah, I can pick and choose just those two. And that's just with a shift click to select. The modulation matrix allows you to route any of your control surface items to a specific destination. So in here you can see we've got pitch bend is going to tuning, velocity to volume, mod wheel to vibrato depth. You just click on this, pick and choose a modulation source. We'll pick the keyboard. And then down here you can pick the modulation destination. So you've got a lot of different destinations that you can pick and choose from. And this is where you're going to really be able to build up the expressive aspects of your sound. On the back end of the sound, we've got your standard fare of effects: flangers, phasor, chorus, delay, reverb, and a dub delay. Just pick and choose them. You can enable and disable them right here. You can mix their levels right there. The last window here is the settings window. And this allows you to do a lot of kind of the more global aspects of each of your timbres. So you have octave ratios. You can detune the keyboard this way. You can change your scale tunings. You can set the bit depth for the sound, the oversampling. Set your noise floor to -87, I think, mimics what the original hardware was. You can take it all the way off if you want cleaner sounds, or you can take it up if you want noisy sounds. Timbre normalize kind of balances out all your timbre levels. As you start building up more and more timbre levels, or more and more partials, you have to turn them down so that you won't end up overdriving. This will automatically balance them all. And last is the animations button. If every time you're going back and forth between screens, you don't want to take the time to see that, you can disable your animations and you just go quickly back and forth between them both. One other page to talk about is the MIDI assignment mode. So you can quickly assign any of these parameters that are purple or red to your MIDI controller. So I've got a MIDI controller right here, and I want to assign my release time to a fader. So I clicked on that and I just moved my fader on my controller, and it shows that it is now assigned. And so whenever I move my controller, it's moving this knob. It's very quick and easy. You can sit here and set up your own MIDI configurations and save them, load up different ones if you're using a different controller. So this is the introduction to the Synclavier V software. Please, like I said, look, we're doing a sound design video that's going to go more in depth than this, but this should get you up quickly to be able to load up different sounds and quickly do some adjustments to the factory sound library as it is. Take care and enjoy.